The whole issue of GMOs not going away. And guess who chimed in on it? In fact, we had a listener let us know. Jeff, you're out there. We appreciate the heads up that on the 29th, Michael Savage. Remember Michael Savage? We used to do his show.
Yeah, I do remember Michael Savage.
Yeah, he equated centuries of crossbreeding of plants and animals to GMO crops.
Yeah.
The old science now accelerated. He said he had studied the literature. Now, Jeff says he needs me because he loves Michael. And look, I appreciate Savage. Believe me, he's got some good stuff. He's been able to say some stuff. He's been actually pretty open, occasionally vocal about organics in a positive way, but I think he may have lost his mind on this one.
It's an interesting thing because Savage, I mean, he's got, this, I think he's got like a PhD or a doctorate or something in botany.
PhD in botany or something. Listen, I don't care if he's got a PhD, but Jerry Doyle is smarter than Savage. And I'm telling you, on this issue,
I have to agree with you on that.
On this issue, it's not even a contest.
Yeah.
Because Savage went off on GMOs, speaking out of his you-know-what, without he thinks he's speaking from his mind. He didn't know what he was talking about here. He really lost it. Do we have audio clips of this?
We do, as a matter of fact.
Okay.
So, because I figured, we needed to do more than just read it. We need to actually hear it.
You got to hear this.
From him.
PhD Savage. Now, here's a case in point where we're going all off on Mehmet Oz, right? Dr. Mehmet Oz. Because he's just like, oh, you're eating organic, you're an elitist. You're not democratic. And Mike Adams just let him have it, as he should. And we did as well. You can listen to my interview with Jerry Doyle, or Jerry Doyle's interview of me from last week. That's also linked in one of the articles that Mike Adams put out about the GMO. So this is a hot-button issue.
With regard to genetic engineering, it sounds scary to people like Alec Baldwin, I suppose, who went to the High School of Performing Art. It might sound scary to the girls who get stoned every night and are vegetarians and lacto-ovo-vegetarians and psycho-ovo-vegetarians. But the fact of the matter is, foods have been modified by breeders, and animals have been modified by breeders from the beginning of, let us say, recorded history.
See, he's right about that and I've talked about that, have I not? About utilizing the crops or the plants that seem to show a resilience in a specific area, and you crossbreed them, you hybridize them. Right. And there's nothing wrong with that. But, of course, what did he do? He went back to the liberal meme. Oh, Alec Baldwin. What did Alec Baldwin have to do with this?
The thing about Savage is he has a tendency once in a while to break out of that left-right paradigm.
Mm-hmm. That's why we love him.
Seem like he's being independent.
Yeah.
But honestly, and listen, I've got kind of a history of Michael Savage in my career, and he's so narrow-minded sometimes. Anytime somebody comes up with something that he doesn't agree with, it's automatically because you're a liberal left-wing, nutball.
And Savage is not stupid. He's an intelligent guy. He's allowed me to riff on some things over the years as well. But here we can't hold back. Savage, what happened? You're not thinking clearly. Were you on some Sudafed? What was going on? I don't know.
What do I mean by that? Well, let's go back in time. The first genetically modified plant was produced in 1983 using an antibiotic-resistant tobacco plant. And you're in Durham, North Carolina, and that helped the tobacco industry. Then in 1994, there was a Flavor Saver tomato that was approved by the FDA for marketing in the United States. Why? The modification allowed the tomato to delay ripening after picking. That's a good thing, because otherwise the tomato growers would have a very difficult time bringing tomatoes to market. I'm always amazed that I can buy tomatoes that are almost ripe, put them on my kitchen counter, and see them ripen over the next day or two. That's a good thing, isn't it?
No, it's not a good thing, especially when they take fish genes. Fish genes. Do you understand, Michael? They're crossbreeding, beyond crossbreeding. They're literally going into genetically engineering animal genes and putting it into your tomato. Seriously? That's what you want? See, I don't know if Savage was even awake on that, whatever response he was to a phone caller. If he thinks that, my tomato is going to ripen at a nice, gentle pace so that I can enjoy it, and you got a fish gene in it. Really? That's not the same thing as hybridizing. That's not the same thing as great-grandma and grandpa did on the farm. And even antibiotic-resistant tobacco? What, you want to give tobacco antibiotics? What is that?
Yeah. Well, this is a perfect example. And like I say, anybody who's listened to Savage for a long time has kind of picked up on what Savage is about when it comes to politics. He tries to do the independent thing. Now I would be willing to bet. I'd put money down on the table right now if there was some way to actually prove this. I would be willing to bet the reason why Savage has developed the opinion that he has about GMOs is because of that commercial that came out. You remember that? We played that on the air when it came out.
Oh, all the Hollywood celebrities.
It had all of the Hollywood actors in it that were against GMOs and stuff. And, look, Savage has ranted about Hollywood, about, performers and stuff like that because they're all crazy left-wing, liberal, wingnut people that want to burn the flag.
Yeah, but that's just being reactionary. That's not using your noodle, man.
No, it isn't. And I'll tell you what, I guarantee that had Barack Obama come out and given a speech saying how great GMOs are and how they're going to save the world and that we need to do them, I'd be willing to bet that on November 29th, when he did this show and this phone call came in, he would have gone after GMOs as being a bad thing. And it's because, unfortunately, as much as we appreciate Savage, what he's done, he's had us on the show numerous times. Yeah. He is still stuck in the left-right paradigm. Yeah,
as much as we'd like to say he's beyond it, clearly here he's not thinking. Let's hear what else. Maybe he digs himself out of this. I don't know.
Now, other transgenic crops included corn that was modified to give it a resistance to certain organisms, cotton that would be resistant to the herbicide bromoxynil, potatoes, soybeans resistant to the herbicide glyphosate.
By the way, it's glyphosate. And, Savage is somebody that you would expect that would take the time to actually do this thing right. Right. And he is clearly just going off. He's not prepared for this question, in my opinion, because he's smarter than this. But as you said, he seems to be going into a left-right reactionary and not really going deep in. I mean, you're talking about corn that is resistant to certain organisms. No, it's resistant to toxic genetically modified pesticides that are now used by the boatload.
And Savage, it's corn that creates pesticides.
Yeah, it's genetically engineered to
You're
create
eating
pesticides.
a food that goes into your gut
For
and
God's sake, Savage, you've written books on nutrition for children, and do you know that the children are producing pesticides in their own gut ecology thanks to this BT corn?
Yeah, virus-resistant squash, again delayed ripening tomatoes, and I can go on and on. In 2000, there was golden rice that was produced by genetically modified means in order to increase the nutrient value of the rice.
No. They actually made it so you could put synthetic vitamins in there, and it's causing problems. Why not, Savage, you know better. Rehabilitate the soils. Restore integrity to the soil. Are there earthworms in the soils of Africa? Is there selenium in the soils of Africa? You know this. And you would rather have them genetically modify this stuff in there and expect that it would be balanced the way the creation is balanced food?
And so, therefore, one of the reasons we're a leader in food production, distribution, consumption is because we have the most brilliant scientists on the planet who know how to do these things.
We're a leader in food consumption because we have brilliant scientists? What? How many Bubbas out there?
We are the champions
I've got a PhD in eating.
Yes.
I've got a PhD in eating. Is that what he's saying there? I like I said, I don't know. Did he have an off day? I'm willing to give him a little benefit of the doubt here.
No,
Savage, you want to come on and explain yourself?
This is just how he is, Robert. He makes up his mind that if Hollywood actors or anybody that happens to have a liberal or Democratic view, and I mean Democrat as in party Democrat, at a particular issue, he is immediately an enemy. He immediately singles that situation out and makes it something that he's got a bad mouth.
All right, we have to leave it there, but Savage, you want to respond to this? Let us know. We'll put you on. I know you're smarter than that, but please show it.